What if the very thing you're terrified of, letting her go, is the one move that makes her realize your true worth? What if walking away instead of chasing gave you back every ounce of power you thought you lost? This isn't just about relationships, it's about reclaiming yourself. Because the truth is, most men lose their edge trying to hold on to someone who stopped valuing them a long time ago. If you've ever felt like you were giving more than you were getting, if you've ever found yourself overthinking her silence, chasing her attention, or feeling like the more you care, the less she does, then this video is for you. This message is your wake-up call. It's not soft, it's not sugar-coated, and it might just be the turning point you've needed. So, stay with me. Because what you're about to hear will flip the entire dynamic and put the power back where it belongs, in your hands. And by the time this video ends, you won't just understand why everything changes when you let her go. You'll feel it. If you're tired of feeling powerless, confused, or constantly walking on eggshells just to keep someone in your life, then don't just watch this video, commit to it. Soak it in, let it shift your mindset, let it remind you who you were before you started chasing. And if this message hits home, subscribe to this channel right now. Because there are millions of men out there suffering in silence, not knowing their worth, begging for attention, and losing themselves in the process. This channel is about changing that, one man at a time, one mindset shift at a time, and your support helps us reach the next guy who needs to hear this. So, if you're ready to become the man she fears losing, and not the one who's scared to be alone, watch this to the very end. Then share it with a brother, a friend, or anyone who needs to be reminded of their power. Let's begin. Scarcity mindset. The fear of losing a woman doesn't begin when she walks out the door. It starts long before that, quietly, in your mind. It begins the moment you start believing she's one of a kind, that no one else could ever make you feel this way again, that without her, life would feel hollow, meaningless, or lonely. And once you believe that, you stop seeing her as a person and start seeing her as a lifeline. That's the trap. That's when you hand over your power. You've convinced yourself she's rare because you've attached meaning to moments and emotions. Maybe she laughed at your jokes in a way no one else did. Maybe the intimacy felt deeper. Maybe she just looked at you like you mattered. But none of that means she's the only one capable of giving you those experiences again. What you're holding on to isn't her. It's the feeling you had when you were with her. And that feeling didn't come from her. It came from within you. She just happened to bring it out. And if it came out once, it can come out again, with someone else. You're afraid to lose her because deep down, you fear what her absence might reveal about you. That fear whispers, if she goes, maybe no one else will ever want me. That's not truth. That's your insecurity talking. Understand this clearly. Dependency is not love. Love is a choice made from strength. Dependency is a grip born out of fear. And when you depend on a woman for your sense of self, your joy, your confidence, you're no longer in a relationship. You're in captivity. You become afraid to speak your mind. You avoid conflict. You say yes when you mean no. You lower your standards just to avoid rocking the boat. And slowly, piece by piece, you lose yourself trying to hold on to someone who was never supposed to be your everything. A man who builds his entire identity around keeping a woman will eventually lose both her and himself. The truth is, women don't fall in love with men who make them their world. They fall in love with men who have a world of their own, men with purpose, direction, and standards. A man who is confident in walking away the moment he's no longer respected or valued is the one who commands attention, admiration, and desire. Scarcity is an illusion created by emotion. You are surrounded by women in this world, millions, and every day new ones enter your life's orbit. The problem is not lack of women. The problem is that you've placed all your value on one. That mindset will keep you small. It will keep you chasing. And it will keep you blind to the truth. There is only one you. You are the rare one. You are the one who decides who earns access to your time, your energy, your presence. When you believe you are rare, the world shifts. You stop chasing, you stop begging, you start building, you start demanding alignment with your values. You start filtering women instead of trying to impress them. You begin to move like a man with something to protect, his peace, his time, his mission. Women are not prizes, they are people. You don't need to compete for them like trophies, and you certainly don't need to audition for a place in their lives. You are building an empire, and not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Most men are willing to lower their standards to keep a woman, but real men raise their standards and see who stays. So the next time you catch yourself obsessing over the idea that she's the only one, pause and remember this. You were complete before her. You'll be complete without her. You don't need to lose your worth trying to convince someone to stay. The right woman will meet you where you stand. The wrong one will try to make you shrink. Choose power over panic. Choose self-respect over attachment. Choose yourself. First, always. Women feel fear, and it kills attraction. Attraction isn't something you say. It's something you communicate without words, through presence, energy, and the way you carry yourself. A woman doesn't need you to tell her that you're afraid to lose her. She can feel it. It's in your hesitation before you speak. It's in your over-apologizing. It's in the way you tiptoe around conflict, just to avoid upsetting her. You may think you're being kind, respectful, or thoughtful, but what she sees is uncertainty. What she feels is fear. And the moment a woman senses fear in a man, especially fear of losing her, a part of her instinctively pulls away. Because a man who's afraid to lose her doesn't stand on solid ground. He's not anchored in his own value. He's emotionally dependent, and dependence suffocates attraction. You see, a woman isn't attracted to control. She doesn't want to dominate or lead. She may test you, challenge you, even push your buttons. But what she's truly looking for in all of that is certainty. She wants to feel your strength, not your strength over her, but your strength within yourself. Emotional strength. The kind of strength that stays calm when she's distant. The kind of strength that doesn't flinch when she pulls back or delays a response. The kind that doesn't start doubting itself when things get quiet. Because she will test you. Not maliciously, but instinctively. She'll pull away without explanation. She'll stop being as affectionate. She might ignore your message for hours or days. Why? Because she wants to see how you handle the pressure. She wants to know if you fold, if you become desperate, if you chase, over-explain, or beg for her attention. And the moment you do, you fail the test. She may not even realize it consciously, but something in her begins to shut off. The desire fades, because what she sees isn't a strong man holding frame. It's a man handing over his power for validation. You might think reacting to her distance with reassurance will make her feel safe, but it doesn't. What actually makes her feel safe and attracted is knowing you won't collapse under emotional pressure. When you start chasing her approval or obsessing over her reactions, you send one clear signal. You value her more than you value yourself. And that's when everything begins to unravel. A woman may enjoy being adored, but the second she feels you need her, the polarity dies. So, what should you do? You hold the line. You stay centered. You remain calm, composed, and focused. You don't argue. You don't try to explain yourself endlessly. And you certainly don't beg. When she pulls back, you pull back further. Not to play a game, but because a man with self-respect doesn't chase energy that retreats. He observes. He adapts. And if the energy doesn't return with respect and intention, he moves on without resentment. This is the moment many men fail. They confuse emotional control with coldness. But staying calm doesn't mean shutting off your feelings. It means learning how to manage them. It means choosing dignity over reaction, discipline over desperation. It's in this control that respect is earned. And where respect exists, attraction can thrive. A woman's respect is the foundation of her desire. Without it, you'll never have her heart, only her attention, and only for a short time. But when she sees that you can hold your frame, stay grounded, and not let her shifts in behavior shake your sense of worth, she will lean in. She will feel that emotional safety she's unconsciously seeking. And more importantly, she will see you, not as a man who's afraid to lose her, but as a man she's afraid to lose. Detachment is power. Most men misunderstand what detachment really means. They hear the word and immediately think of being cold, distant, or emotionally unavailable. But that's not detachment, that's disconnection. Detachment is something entirely different. It's not about shutting off your emotions or pretending you don't care. In fact, you can love a woman deeply, enjoy her company, feel incredible chemistry, and still be completely detached. What detachment really means is this: your emotions don't control your decisions. Your heart can feel. but your mind stays in charge. A detached man doesn't act out of desperation. He doesn't chase after someone who's pulling away. He doesn't argue for attention. He doesn't prove himself to someone who's stopped showing effort. He knows who he is, what he brings, and what he's worth. And because of that, he can walk away the moment he feels disrespected, undervalued, or emotionally manipulated, no matter how attractive she is or how strong the connection feels. That's not apathy, that's power. And here's the part most men miss. Women sense this kind of emotional independence. It's not something you say, it's something you radiate. She can feel when she doesn't have a grip on your emotions. She can tell you're not emotionally dependent on her attention or approval. And that creates something few men ever inspire in a woman: intrigue. You become unpredictable. You become a challenge. Not in a toxic way, but in a deeply attractive way. Because when she realizes that you're not chasing her, not competing for her, not adjusting yourself to keep her, her instincts take over. The feminine energy is drawn to strength, and nothing feels stronger than a man who is fully in control of himself. Why does this work so powerfully? It's rooted in human psychology and biology. People naturally value what they believe they could lose. The moment she senses that you're completely fine without her, she has to ask herself, what does he have that gives him that confidence? That question opens the door to desire, because it forces her to see you as someone with high standards, someone she now feels the urge to win. Not because you're playing games, but because your energy says, I want you, but I don't need you. And that creates tension, the kind of tension that fuels real attraction. Most men fear being detached because they think it means giving up on connection. But it's the opposite. When you're detached, the connections you create are more genuine because they come from a place of choice, not need. You're not emotionally enslaved. You're not performing for affection. You're simply being. You're showing up fully as yourself and letting her decide if she wants to match your energy or fall away. And either outcome is fine with you because your peace doesn't depend on her presence. Detachment is not arrogance. It's not dismissiveness. It's discipline. It's knowing that no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how much potential you see in her, you will never lower your standards, chase disrespect, or compromise your integrity. You will never beg someone to value what they're not wise enough to see. A man who can walk away at any time is a man who holds all the power, not power over someone, but power within himself. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what earns respect. And that's what flips the dynamic. Because now, you're not trying to convince her you're enough. She's trying to prove she deserves you. Never overinvest early. One of the fastest ways men lose a woman's interest without even realizing it is by overinvesting too early. You meet someone you're excited about, and before you've taken time to see who she really is, you're already all in. You text her all day. You compliment her constantly. You move your schedule around to be available. You start offering favors, planning dates, paying for things, doing everything you can to show her you're serious. Deep down, you're hoping this level of effort will make her appreciate you, respect you, maybe even love you. But instead of drawing her closer, it often does the exact opposite. She begins to pull away. She stops texting back as quickly. Her enthusiasm fades. You're left confused, asking yourself, what did I do wrong? What you did wrong was simple. You gave too much without asking for anything in return. You handed over your energy, your time, and your attention before she had shown she deserved it. In the early stages of a relationship, both people are evaluating each other. It's not about trying to impress, it's about observing. Is she kind? Is she emotionally mature? Does she make effort? Or is she just taking what's given? But when you overinvest from the start, you rob yourself of that clarity. You place her on a pedestal before she's even earned it. And once you do that, she doesn't have to work for anything. She doesn't have to earn your attention, it's already guaranteed. And what's freely given is rarely valued. Women are highly intuitive. When you start doing too much too fast, it doesn't come off as confidence, it comes off as neediness. It sends a message, even if unspoken, I'm afraid if I don't give everything now, I'll lose you. And that fear undermines attraction. A high-value man doesn't rush to impress. He doesn't feel the need to overcompensate. He lets his presence, his discipline, and his purpose do the talking. He invests proportionally. If she puts in effort, he reciprocates. If she shows consistency, he increases his energy. But He never gives more than he's receiving, especially in the beginning. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about protecting your value. It's about making sure your time and emotional investment go to someone who has proven she respects and appreciates it. And yes, proven. Because appreciation isn't something you assume. It's something you witness through action. If she's not texting you consistently, canceling plans, or only showing up when it's convenient, then your effort should match that. And if she's leaning in, showing kindness, being thoughtful, then you meet her there, but not beyond it. Too many men think generosity will buy them affection. But the truth is, generosity without boundaries turns into emotional charity. And charity isn't attractive. Respect is. A woman doesn't admire a man who gives without standards. She admires a man who knows what his energy is worth and gives it with intention. You're not trying to prove you're a good guy. You're not trying to win her over. You are building your life, your mission, your path, and if she wants to be a part of it, she needs to bring something to the table too. Think of it this way. Every time you invest, you're making a statement. You're saying, I believe you are worth my time. And that's a powerful message, one that should only be given to someone who's earned it through consistency, respect, and shared values. So slow down, breathe, watch how she shows up. Let her earn your attention. Let her wonder why you're not chasing her like every other guy. That mystery, that self-respect, that's where real attraction begins. The moment you let her go is the moment everything starts to shift. Not just in her, but in you. That moment says, I respect myself more than I fear your absence. And when you live by that standard, you transform. You go from the man who hopes she stays to the man she fears losing. Every test she throws at you becomes a joke. Every silence, every delay, every cold reply, it all becomes noise. Because your value no longer depends on her approval. You've outgrown it. If she's the right woman, she'll rise to meet your standards. If she's not, she'll walk away. And you'll thank her for saving you the time. Either way, you win. Because now, you're not chasing. You're building. You're rising. You've become the man worth keeping. If you've watched this far, you're different. You're not average. And you're not just looking to get girls. You're ready to build unshakable confidence. If this video gave you clarity, drop a comment with the word power, so I know you're part of the men ready to rise. And if you believe in this mission, helping men everywhere break free from fear, scarcity, and low value, support the channel. Your support allows us to keep creating life-changing content and deliver it to every man who needs to hear it. You're not just helping yourself, you're helping thousands of others find their power again. Ready to level up? Grab a copy of my book, Attraction Secrets. You'll find the link in the description. It's not just a book, it's your blueprint, your turning point, your transformation. Until next time, keep building, keep leading, and never beg to be loved.